Hello and welcome back to Tinker Talks Guns. This time we're discussing the SIG P365, a subcompact 9mm introduced in 2017, which was the best-selling handgun in America in 2018 and 2019. And it's a very, very clever little gun. It has a modular construction in that it has a removable fire control assembly that constitutes the actual registered firearm. So you can very easily swap it into different size, different shaped grips. The owner of this gun has opted for a grip with a manual safety. And you will note features it lacks that many other guns in its class have. There is no trigger safety, or dingus, I believe is the industry term. It comes quite well appointed. It has two 10-round double-stack magazines that come with it. It has tritium night sights with the nice little ridge at the front if you're all tactical and want to chamber around by rubbing it against your belt. And it is a great little gun. It's actually nicer to shoot than I'd been led to believe. A lot of people refer to it as snappy. A lot of people have issues with the recoil. I didn't, but I'm kind of a gorilla, so make of it what you will. This afternoon, I put 200 rounds through it without a bobble. This was a mix of target and defensive ammo, plus P115, plus P135, and plus P147 grain hollow points. And it just swallowed everything flawlessly. It was nice, to me, it was nice to shoot for a gun its size. And it was quite accurate, quite easily to shoot rapidly and accurately. So far it's ticking all the boxes. So we're going to go straight to the tabletop and have a closer look at this wee beastie. Okay, first things first, let's unload and show clear. The magazine release is very slim, but actually very easy to hit when you mean to, and I never found myself hitting it when I didn't mean to. So, magazine's out, chamber is empty. That is safe. The two magazines it comes with are a flat bottom 10-round magazine and a finger groove thingy, pinky rest thingy. 10-round magazine. And honestly, my hand is big enough that the finger groove thingy makes absolutely no difference. I still can't really get 3 fingers on it. But fortunately, I don't care because it's no problem for me to curl my finger under thusly. Disassembly, well, it takes apart like a SIG. You lock the slide back, remove the magazine, rotate the lever 90 degrees, and pull the slide off the front of the gun. And from there, you can see the 2-stage tandem spring assembly, which allows it to absorb the recoil in a very short space. Barrel comes out just exactly as you'd expect. And of course, it is the standard variation on the Browning system that they use. Now, the party piece of this gun is this, which is called the Fire Control Unit, or FCU. And it can be very easily removed. Almost too easily. I kind of wish that pin were just a little harder to push out. It did move around a little bit while I was shooting, but it never really threatened to come out. So there's the fire control unit. This is the serial numbered part of the gun. So in legal terms, this is the gun. And that allows you to very easily switch to a few different variations offered by SIG Sauer, or the very popular new Wilson Combat Unit, which retails for $65. And it is a little wider this way, and more round and a little wider this way. And interestingly, I thought I would very much prefer this grip to the stock one, but really, in shooting, I really only had a slight preference for it. It has really nice texture. The texture on the back is almost too aggressive for a lot of people. My work as a knife maker has given me rather tough hands, so I didn't find it troublesome at all. But people who work in places like offices might want to sand it down a little bit. Now, to install the new handle, it really couldn't be simpler. You stick the front in the frame, pop the back down until it clicks, and reinsert the pin, and voila, you have a different grip. Let's go ahead and reassemble it. Unlike some of the guns we've featured recently, this one has never yet been a pain in the butt to reassemble, so naturally I expect it to be this time. And lock the slide back. Aha! I knew something had to happen. Hello. What's supposed to happen is I lock the slide back and this lever pops over. I have no clue why it's being a problem. Oh, maybe the guide rod isn't in the right place. That explains it. Okay. There, that has to be firmly wedged in that little notch. And then it pops right back on. And as soon as you lock the slide back, the lever snaps itself up. And you are ready to go. And the 10-round magazine capacity is really nice because even with the slightly thicker, rounder Wilson Combat grip, it's still very, very compact. The gun is 6 inches long, 4.1 inches high, I believe, and the slide is 1 inch thick. And as you can see from above, the controls are pretty tight to the gun. I never found myself activating or hitting a control by accident, despite the gun's diminutive size. And the trigger pull, I have to say, it is one of the nicer striker-fired triggers I've experienced. I am told there are better guns, but this is certainly nicer than an unmodified Glock. So, we'll have a look at the sight picture real close. As you can see, the front green dot is nice and visible, and it's more precise than you might expect. And it is a day-night sight with a tritium insert, making it glow in the dark. So far there's a lot to love, and I kind of do. The P365 made quite a splash when it landed, and with its compact form factor, good quality sights from the factory, high capacity for its size, it seemed like the answer to the question everyone was asking, and sales certainly reflect that. But it is not unblemished. A couple of prominent reviewers who have fired over 1,000 rounds through it have had some issues, as have had some of the customers. And SIG did not respond at all well. They tended to deny there was a problem, then they blamed it on the customers, and in fact, those problems stemmed from the pistol itself. One of them was that the magazine, under recoil, can impact a spring as part of the mechanism, and eventually that spring breaks. Now, I don't know how many rounds they fired before the spring broke, possibly quite a lot. Another problem was that on ejecting, it was dragging the striker across the primers. Now, SIG Sauer says that they have fixed this, and I found very minor evidence of this on a couple of pieces of brass, but most of the brass looked like a proper primer strike, exactly as it should. So I can't really comment on either of those things because they didn't happen to me. On the surface, on the whole, I'm very impressed with this gun. And I'm not really up to date on how SIG Sauer is handling these minor issues. So, in a sense, you're taking your chances. But I don't think you're really pushing the envelope of risk by depending on this as a carry gun. If you plan on firing thousands and thousands of rounds through it, you should definitely look into these issues, and there has been plenty said about them on social media and on YouTube. So you should have no trouble researching that if it is a concern to you. On the whole, I really like this gun. I like it more than I expected to. The people at SIG Sauer are very, very smart, and they put a lot of thought into this gun, and it shows. So that's the SIG Sauer P365.